Yeah.
I just want the paper. I just want the paper. I just want the paper.
Yeah.
I just want the paper. I just want the paper. I just want the paper.
It's still a feeling that you love to hate. Don't hesitate to put in work just to get this pay. And all this talk about food, I guess I need a plate. But once the trap house boom, I guess I flip a state to get this rape. Money violent like I'm in rape. Half a brick a day, my firework like Independence Day. Spark a split for hate. Niggas learn from that chink shit. Now my shooters move around, we moving brinks with. I'm from the school of the hard knocks, from a hard block. I need a beat with a hard knock, flipping hard rock. Need a coupe with a hard top or a hard drop. Pull it out, they be all shocked, watch they jaws drop. My niggas crazy, but we optimistic. Cause I remember days I didn't have a pot to piss in. Somebody tell these pussy niggas I'm the best that did it. Your boy Dag, fire plane, that's the best description. Motherfuckers, yeah.
I just want the paper. I just.
Yo, salute once again, man. I know it ain't too late, right? Let me get to sharing this shit on Facebook and all that. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. I'm saying this is the toughest of all things. Tough Stino. You know what I'm saying? Once again with another banger, man. Salute to everybody for pulling up. I'm still sharing it on my side. Make sure y'all hit the share button too. We're going to get into it, man, because it seems like there's been a lot of controversy going on within the last week, right? So Kanye West, as we all know, as I've been talking about heavy for the past couple, Kanye West has been banned from YouTube for anti-Semitic remarks that he made. But he's not the only one, champ. Just like I've been telling us, it's not just us that gets banned. There's a lot of white people that get banned too, man. It's not a racist thing. You know what I'm saying? Kanye wasn't banned because people was being racist towards him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gets banned. Depends on what type of stuff you say. But we're going to get into what was said, man. Just make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation, man. All right, so it's two people that's caught up in the mix, man. We got Ethan Klein, man. Ethan Klein is a YouTuber. He got a page called HE Productions with him and his wife. He is an American Israeli YouTuber. He makes a lot of, to me, cringeworthy content. Recently, he's been, going against Andrew Tate's and, the people that's been getting banned for guidelines, champ. The guidelines. He's been going after the people for the guidelines, champ. Know what I mean? So just recently, he got into it with your boy Ben Shapiro. I don't know if y'all know who Ben Shapiro is. But if you don't know, I'm gonna let you know right now, champ. I'm gonna let you know who Ben Shapiro is, champ. You know what I mean? Ben Shapiro is an American commentator. Benjamin Aaron Shapiro is an American conservative political commentator, media host, columnist, and author. At age 17, he became the youngest nationally syndicated columnist in the United States. You know what I'm saying? So your boy Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, they all have like the same talking point for the most part to me, watching the content. Do I agree with some stuff they say? Yeah. Do I disagree with some stuff? Yeah. But it never gets to a hate point. It never gets to a hate point with me. You know what I'm saying? So your boy Ethan Klein goes on to say some terrible things, man. And we're going to talk about what he said. I actually have a clip from Ben Shapiro's podcast where he mentions Ethan Klein getting banned, man. He got banned for, I believe, 7 days. He caught 2 strikes on YouTube for the things that he said. 1 strike was for what he said. Another strike was, because once they ban you, they start going into your other content, and if people did a mass report, that means that they're going to report all your content. So whatever gets caught. So word on the street is he got hit with 2 strikes. So one of them may be a warning, and then 1 strike stuck, which gave him 7-day suspension, champ. You know what I'm saying? Which also takes your monetization away. That's what y'all don't understand. If you get a strike, just because you come back within 7 days, your monetization is gone for at least a good 90, champ. Respectfully. So for a good 3 months, he's not gonna have no monetization. Everybody's talking about, 7 days, whatever. All right, cool. But guess what? He's not gonna have no monetization for a while, champ. And his page does very well. You know what I'm saying? He gets millions and millions of views. So let's get into the video from Ben Shapiro on what Klein actually said. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell, man, to stay notified on what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm going to be bringing y'all different content, man. I'm not really going to stay on the whole gossip, the reality gossip side. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just be talking about things that intrigue me. I mean, and this is kind of intriguing because everybody was saying, oh, Kanye is black. Yeah, well, what happened to this guy, champ? Respectfully. Let's go, Ben. What did he say to you, champ?
And there is, as we mentioned yesterday on the show, a YouTuber who I frankly had been unfamiliar with named Ethan Klein. And on his show, he suggested that he was joking. He said that if there was another Holocaust, I should be gassed first.
Now, I just want to stress, I do not agree with what Ethan Klein said. If y'all all heard what he said, I'll play it again, champ, because this is for educational purposes only. This is Ben Shapiro, the man that the joke, quote unquote, was said about. He's explaining what was said, and you know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to understand what was said, man. All right.
And there is, as we mentioned yesterday on the show, a YouTuber who I frankly had been unfamiliar with named Ethan Klein. And on his show, he suggested that he was joking. He said that if there was another Holocaust, I should be gassed first. Which is not a wonderful thing to say. As I said on the show yesterday, I would hope that in another Holocaust, he and his family escape because I'm not a terrible person. But he said this. And then apparently the video was deleted from YouTube. And now he's whining about it. He's very, very upset about it. He said it was just a joke. It's mean. He says the joke I was suspended for simply points out that Ben, who is desperate to be accepted by his Christian nationalist friends as white, will only ever be seen by them as a useful idiot and sadly for him, a Jew. God.
Now, listen, man, both of these guys are Jewish. I just want to point out the fact that both of these guys are Jewish. So it doesn't matter what background you are, it doesn't matter what skin color you are. If you say hurtful things, even if it's a sick joke, quote unquote, you're still going to go against guidelines and you're going to get banned. Now, do I agree? I do agree. You want to know why I agree? Because like Ben Shapiro and, the rest of the Jewish culture, my background, like I said before, is tied to horrific acts. I am a descendant of slaves. Knowing that history, when you're a kid and you got to sit down on your grandmother's bed and she's telling you about things that she saw, things that her mother told her, and things that she saw her father go through and her grandfather go through. Bodies she saw hung up and, things like that. It sort of touches home, champ. So, when I think about what's said, man, he said if there was another, situation like that, he wanted Ben to be in the situation first. It's crazy because I'm thinking about it like, damn, like what if somebody said something about slavery and they said that they wanted me to be the first one put through the slavery stuff? Like it's just, I don't find that funny. I know there's a such thing as freedom of speech, but I do believe certain things cross the line, man. I do believe certain things cross the line. Let's get back to what Ben Shapiro got to say.
Guys, I'm pretty sure that the people who like the show and listen to my stuff know I'm a Jew, not exactly hiding it. I'm pretty sure that they see me as a Jew because I'm a Jew. You can tell by the funny hat on my head that I wear literally every day since my childhood. But Ethan Klein, being not a very good person and a tacit excuse maker for genocidal terror groups like Hamas, he's trying to claim that he is the real fighter against anti-Semitism. He says he is constantly excusing, enabling, and platforming real anti-Semitism. This is coming from a guy who literally put out a post last year making excuses for, again, genocidal terror group Hamas. Okay, so what does this mean? Should Ethan Klein lose his video on YouTube? No. In principle, he should not. I'm very much in favor of the idea that platforms should be extremely loose about what they allow on their platforms. If these platforms proclaim that they are for free speech, they shouldn't be removing videos, even videos that I find to be gross and or despicable. I will add one proviso. If you are, as Ethan Klein appears to be, a person who revels in the cancellation of others, I will shed 0 tears for you and you deserve everything you have coming. Ethan Klein in 2022, as in earlier this year.
Let's stop. See, so that's where me and Ben Shapiro differ. I don't know if it's because the neighborhood I grew up in and being heavily policed, where I understood that we don't really have the freedom of speech, or we do have the freedom of speech, but depending on where you're at and who hears you, sometimes there may be a repercussion. Another thing is, I don't believe that these platforms should be that loose. I don't believe that people should come on here and be able to say what they want, make crazy jokes like that, and do other things like that, because for one, there's kids on this app, man. There's children on this app, whether or not they have children accessibility or if they have full accessibility to see, like, they're not making this to like adult content. Like, this is for anybody. They not age restricting what Son said, so anybody can see that. Now, what if it's a Jewish person, a kid that, you know, from the time they young, they learn about this, that whatever happened to their ancestors, and now they hear a crude joke about it. How you think that's going to make them feel? So no, I don't believe that, you know, people should be able to say whatever they want to say on these apps and however they want to say it. He could have expressed his hate for Ben Shapiro with a different joke. It didn't have to include a mass genocide of people. It didn't have to include, you know, that situation. He could have said, oh, well, it'd be crazy if he slip on a banana and break his arm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, you know, like, he could have just worded it way different. He didn't even have to use that situation, dog. For real. So yeah, I can respect Ben for letting that one slide and not, you know, getting mad and not wanting the guy to lose a platform. I don't want anybody to lose their platform neither, but I don't believe that you should be able to say everything you want to say. And I do know it's a double-edged sword, because the guidelines change, man. The guidelines always change. They always get stricter. People get banned for old videos, for things that was deemed right before, but now all of a sudden, you know, it's getting more and more stricter because more and more people are feeling a certain type of way about the material that they seeing, man. So I do understand it's a double-edged sword, but at the end of the day, if I had a platform, I definitely would have some sort of guidelines to sort of protect some people, man. I'm saying certain jokes are just not cool. That's just how I feel. But let's finish with Ben.
Tweeted out, quote, years ago, I interviewed Jordan Peterson before I was very familiar with his politics. He was an interesting guest who I enjoyed sitting with. But especially now, I can see he's a dangerous gateway to the alt-right transphobia and COVID misinfo. I removed both interviews today. Jordan responded at the time, quote, I should warn you that those who engage in cancel culture generally live to regret it. I'm not going to come after you, except politely in this Twitter stream, but the chickens will definitely come home to roost. So now Ethan Klein is crying salty tears over his YouTube video being removed. By the way, I never called for his YouTube video to be removed. Right? I never said that. In fact, I don't think it should be removed. But we all play by the same rules around here. And if this is the game that you choose to play stupid games, win stupid prizes, you deserve everything you have coming to you. I'm not going to stand in the way of the cancel culture mob when you have fed that mob and incentivized that mob and been a member of that mob. Ethan Klein tweeted out, in teary rage, they are currently the greatest beneficiaries of cancel culture, identity politics, and moral outrage. It's incredible. They've become the party of free speech while decrying and lobbying from ID platforming. They both condemn and defend cancel culture in the same breath. Do you own a mirror? Do you? I will refrain from any comments about the appearance of the person who ought to own a mirror here. So, well done there. Again, this happens all the time, unfortunately, for the left. They're constantly engaging in the cancellation of others, people who are well within the political mainstream. And then, when the cancel culture mob comes for them, they start whining about it. Oh my God, it's such a... Or alternatively, they start to bow and cower before the mob. Well, I really had it coming. This is the Seth Rogen strategy. The Seth Rogen strategy is all those jokes that I told 10 years ago, instead of defending them and taking the hit, I'm just going to say, I'll cancel myself. I'll cancel myself. Coward.
I didn't even know that Seth Rogen got canceled for some of the jokes that he said. And that's what I like. It's a double-edged sword. I'm not going to be totally one-sided and say that I agree with cancel culture, because it's black or white. It's east or west. It's either you here, you there. It's either you for, you against. There's no gray area. So it's either you for it, against it. I would say I'm for it. I got kids. I know one would say it's up to the parent to, filter out what their kids see or not. Sometimes, that's very hard to do. I don't believe that everything should be canceled. Like, I honestly don't. But certain jokes, like what Son said, is just unacceptable. That's just unacceptable, bro. Like, if there was another situation, you would want Ben to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. That's just insane. Like, I didn't think that was a joke. I think if they was in person, they probably would have had to shoot the fade. You know what I'm saying? They probably would have had to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Yo, bro, what you talking? Like, bro, it get like that. It get like that.
At the highest levels. So one standard for everyone. That is the way that all of this should work. So there will be no tears shed for Ethan Klein's temporary suspension from YouTube on this end, even though I believe that he should not be suspended for comments like the one that he made. Alrighty, guys.
The only reason why he's saying he don't agree that Son should have been banned is because it's either you for it or against it. Like, you can't be for it and then be against it when it happened to you. So it's either you against it and have that moral standpoint of just being against people getting canceled. So even if you do get canceled, at least you are good within yourself. Like, well, I wasn't for it anyway. But somebody that's for the cancel culture, when they finally gets canceled or something happens and, it turns on them, they be against it now. So, I mean, like I said, man, I'm gonna go on to say, you know what? I really don't feel like everything should be said. And I'm for it, man. I'm all for it, champ. I'm not gonna hold you, man. Like, certain stuff just don't need to be said, man. Certain jokes just don't need to be said. I'm not gonna hold you. When I used to watch Family Guy and all them other shows and all that, I used to be like, wow. Yo, Quagmire is crazy. Yo, listen. Quagmire is crazy. Yo, listen. Quagmire is crazy, son. The character Quagmire is insane, bro. I'm not going to hold you. It's a lot of stuff that character did that I was just like, it didn't even cause me to laugh. It was just like, oh, nah, bro, like, that's saying cringy John. Mark P says, people have had beef over less. Wars have been started over less, champ. Respectfully. That's why, I just got to keep it 100, bro. I don't believe everything should be said, bro. Joke or not. I don't believe you should be able to say whatever you want to say. If you have a show and that's your platform because you at your show, cool. You should be able to say what you want to say at your show. People pay tickets to come see you at your own platform, whether it be in an arena or a club or whatever the case may be. That's your platform. But when you get on these platforms where it's like, nobody has to pay to see you, like kids, teenagers, they don't got to be kids. They could be college kids that don't really know a lot about the world. You know what I'm saying? Or high school kids. You know what I'm saying? Juniors, seniors that's about to graduate. They don't really know what's going on yet in the world. And they hearing all this crazy stuff, man. They hearing all this crazy stuff. They hearing people make these jokes. Then they go back to school and they say the joke to one of their Jewish friends. Like, oh, if there was a such and such, I want you to be the first such and such in the such and such. Like, what? Now he get a suspension or he get expelled from school because that's not allowed. You can't say that stuff in real life. So why should you be able to say it online? It don't make sense. You're not walking up to nobody in real life and telling them that, dog. You're not walking up to nobody in real life and telling them that, dog. Real talk. If you walk up to me like that, it's a problem. Real talk. So yes, I do believe that he should have been taken out. I've been taken out for less. I've been banned on this for less. For roasting people. For roasting people.
Is, as we mentioned yesterday on the show, a YouTuber who I frankly had been unfamiliar with named Ethan Klein. And on his show, he suggested that he was joking. He said that if there was another Holocaust, I should be gassed first. Which is not a wonderful thing to say. As I said on the show yesterday, I would hope that another Holocaust he and his family escape because I'm not a terrible person.
Yeah, that's something terrible to say. That's something terrible to say. And then look at your boy. Look at your boy. So this is a tweet from Ethan Klein, the cringe master himself, with the Curly from the Three Stooges landing strip, curly fry, MacGyver do right there, champ. He says, hold strong, soldiers. We're going back to work tomorrow to pre-record Leftovers with Andrew Callaghan. Friday, we're pre-recording our After Dark Halloween special, and our Halloween Ghost Hunt special is currently being edited. We'll start dropping stuff this Saturday. So it don't seem like he really too, you know what I'm saying, mad about what's going on. Like he making a big joke out of it. I don't really see what's the big joke, man. I mean, like I said, when they cut your AdSense off, man, and they cut that monetization off, that's a whole stressor. That's a whole stressor. But I did just want to let y'all know that. And I'm saying it's not just black people that's getting banned. Like, I don't never want y'all to think that it's just black people getting banned and, oh, it's a war on black people. No, bro. You just can't say certain things like I've been saying. You just cannot say certain things, bro, and it's just not worth saying certain things unless you're just a horrible individual. Like what was said, that was something horrible to say. I wish nobody else would say no stuff like that. I wish nobody else would say no stuff like that about my people neither, because we done been through too much already, bro. We don't need those type of jokes, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. We don't need those type of jokes right now, champ. Respectfully, not gonna hold you. Misdemeanor salute. You already know the vibes. We out here. We keeping it going. We keeping it going. But Christopher though, like, but it's not all right? So why would you want to? Can I ask you, what's your background, champ? What's your culture? What's your nationality? Where are your parents from? Salute, man. You already know the vibes, man. I want to make this a more serious show. I want to talk about more serious topics and all that, dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be stuck on the Hassan and all that wave, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about serious stuff. You black. All right, so I mean, if me personally, I internalize things, right? So when I hear a joke like that, since Son said it was a joke, when I hear a joke like that, I internalize it, right? So, like I said, when I was a kid, I think I was about 10 years old or 8 years old, something like around there. I was like probably just about to go to junior high school, right? My grandfather sat me down. My grandfather used to do a lot of work in like the yard and all that. So my grandfather sat me down, and he told me the story about his father. So my grandparents is from Alabama, and they used to have a farm, right? So I guess this was like right after slavery and all that. But they used to have a farm, and one day a group of white people came and they knocked on my grandfather's door. My grandfather opened the door. My great-grandfather opened the door. My grandfather said that the people said they're going to take all the cattle. They're going to take all the livestock, all the chickens, all the cows, all the horses, whatever they had, they was taking them. And, you know, they had weapons. They had, you know, the whole nine. And my great-grandfather ain't have nothing. And my great-grandfather had to let them take everything, bro. Everything was took, bro. And my great-grandfather cried. My grandfather told me, like, he was like, yo, it's very hard to see your father cry for something that he can't control. So, you know, those stories and the stories about my great-grandmother coming home with, you know what I'm saying, thorns in her fingers from picking the cotton in the cotton fields, you know, because after slavery ended, that was still one of our main jobs. You know what I'm saying? So I internalized that, man. I know that Jewish people, they go through the same stuff as far as their culture is concerned. When they are kids, they're taught about the Holocaust, they're taught about these things, and it's something that means a lot to them. It's something that means a lot to a lot of people out here. It's something that is very horrible. So I just don't believe that those type of jokes should be made, bro. Like, leave that shit alone. Joke about his voice. Talk about something else, bro. There's different ways you can express yourself about one person without offending a group of people. And that's what I had to learn, bro. I'm from Southside Queens. I offend everybody on here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking about one person. That's insane, bro. We got to learn how to carry ourselves. If you want to offend somebody, offend them. But you don't got to offend the whole group of people. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to offend a whole group of people. And that's what it's all about, man. Now, I mean, I can't say that that's acceptable. So my dad was Creole and black. His mother was from Mobile, Alabama. Yup. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm trying to tell you, bro. So I mean, you got to think about how you would feel if a joke was made like that about you and your people. I'm saying I would feel offended. I would feel crazy if my son came in here and he told me he heard something like that on the internet. I would probably tell him he can't go on that site no more. And I probably wouldn't go on the site no more. I would probably tell my friends, don't let them go on the site no more. You got to understand this. It's like, everybody has to understand that, man. Everything is not cool to say. And that was some horrible stuff to say. He got banned. He said he'd be back tomorrow. But I do know one thing. Once you get that strike, champ, that monetization go, champ. You didn't check out the joke? Hold on, champ. I'll play it one time for everybody who just pulled in the building. This is from Ben Shapiro himself. And like I said, YouTube, this is a reaction video. This is Ben Shapiro letting everybody know what happened to him, champ. So please don't come for me. This is Ben Shapiro saying it himself. This is the man that the joke was made about, the joke, quote unquote. So let's get into it, man. This is it right here.
And there is, as we mentioned yesterday on the show, a YouTuber who I frankly had been unfamiliar with named Ethan Klein. And on his show, he suggested that he was joking. He said that if there was another Holocaust, I should be gassed first. Which is not a wonderful thing to say. As I said on the show yesterday, I would hope that another Holocaust he and his family escape because I'm not a terrible person. But he said this. And then apparently the video was deleted from YouTube. And now he's whining about it. He's very, very upset about it. He said it was just a joke. It's mean. He says the joke I was suspended for simply points out that Ben, who is desperate to be accepted by his Christian nationalist friends as white, will only ever be seen by them as a useful idiot and sadly for him, a Jew. Guys, I'm pretty sure that the people who like the show and listen to my stuff know I'm a Jew.
Yeah, so that basically was a joke. I mean, you know what I mean? It wasn't a joke to me, bro. That shit was horrible, bro. I mean, I don't know what the deal is between everybody and them. You know what I'm saying? Or like, I don't really understand it. The only thing I could just say is what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. I don't believe in a boogeyman. I know a lot of people have power and own a lot of stuff and all that, but I don't believe in a boogeyman. What's right is what's right, and what's wrong is what's wrong with me, bro. Period. That shit was wrong. That shit was out of line. He deserved everything he got. Just like when I got banned, I deserve everything I got. You know what I'm saying? I was offending a lot of people. That's just what it is, man. You know what I mean? Mark P says, history and culture is important. You shouldn't take that away from people. Respect needs to be given. Jokes is in terrible taste, and Shapiro said what needed to be said. That's a fact. That's a fact, bro. I don't agree with everything Shapiro say. I don't disagree with everything Shapiro say, but I'm not against anybody. I'm not like now I'm saying unless somebody offends me, I'm not really against them. They can have points that I don't agree with. They can have points that I do agree with. But yes, man, respect needs to be given. You gotta, bro, you're not gonna offend this one person talking about a crazy event that took wild lives, bro. You're not going to, like, come on, dog. Like, that's like making come on, man. We're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that, bro. And history and culture is important, bro. That's why a lot of people don't really grasp to it, because in their culture they don't really have like an event like that it's like they're taught about through they ancestors. Like, it's passed down knowledge, like, yo, this is what happened to us and we still trying to come back from it. And I'm saying a lot of cultures don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Shit was horrible. But yeah, man, so Ethan Klein, he said he'd be back on YouTube tomorrow. We'll see, champ. We'll see. So let me know in the comments, are y'all for the cancel culture or not? I didn't think I was for the cancel culture. I personally did not think I was for it. But it seems like either you have to be for it or against it. There is no middle ground. They're not letting it be a middle ground, champ. There is no semi, there's no 50-50, there's no kinda. It's either you for it or against it. I'm all for the guidelines, champ. I'm guidelines gang, GLG, man. Know what I'm saying? I'm guidelines to the core, champ, respectfully. I understand everybody doesn't need to be offended. When you're speaking, you should try not to offend people. And that's just from a moral standpoint. If you're in a room full of people, unless you mean to offend all those people, you shouldn't try to offend everybody. It's not safe. It's not nice. You know what I mean? Pancho, salute, kid. You already know the vibes, man. We in here, man. I'm just trying to put the chat on to what's going on, champ. It's not just us that's being banned. It's everybody. Just like me and Showface been saying, it's everybody that's being banned, champ. Everybody's being banned. If you're giving out misinformation, banned. If you're doing hateful speech, that was hate speech, champ, all the way. Now let me know how loose should we be with the jokes? How loose should we be with the jokes, champ? Comparing somebody to a vegetable or something like that. Know what I'm saying? It's funny, but bro, he's going over the edge, bro. This is a world event that we talking about. Christopher says, I'm not about the cancel culture, but I think the censorship is out of this world. So you think, see, and that's where the double-edged sword is. Because if you're not for censorship, then that means that you don't want nothing to be censored. That means that everything should be uncensored. But if you are for censors, that means that there's no end to what's going to be censored. Like, eventually it's going to be to where probably you're going to have to talk like this. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's going to feel offended by something. So it's really a double-edged sword, bro. And that's why there's like two sides to it. People for it and against it, because I mean, I can see the disadvantages of both. I can see the disadvantages of both. Know what I mean? That's the thing, Poncho. It's people do need to take accountability, but what's going on is, what I'm gathering, it's like it's either you for it or against it. It's either you for it or against it. So it's either people can make jokes like this or they can't. It's either they can or they can't. I don't think people should be able to, you know what I'm saying, say stuff like that. Pancho says we come to a common ground. That's what I thought, champ, until I started really taking a deep dive into this whole fight that's going on between canceling the people and not canceling people. There's people that are battling like for that right, like on some, oh, it's right, this is what we should do, and people are like, no, we shouldn't do that. It's groups of people that's doing that, and it's like it's either it is or it's not. And they said that's the bad thing about, you know, being able to cancel people, because it can, the terms can always change. The terms is forever changing. Just like with Family Guy. 10, 20 years ago, Family Guy, I don't know how old Family Guy got to be at least 20 years old. But you know, a lot of them jokes was acceptable. Back when Eddie Murphy did Raw, a lot of those stuff was acceptable. A lot of those jokes was acceptable. Were they not acceptable no more? So it's like, you know, they're always changing what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And that's the argument that the anti-cancelers have. The anti-cancelers be like, bruh, if they start canceling stuff, it's no end to what they gonna cancel. Next thing you know, we gonna have to start using sign language. Then they gonna say it's gang signs. You know what I mean? Like, Champ for a reason says Trump said some wild stuff. Nobody said nothing. I don't know if nobody said nothing. I know it was definitely some outrage about some of the stuff that he said, bro. Respectfully. Christopher says, I think if you're on a platform, you have to abide by the guidelines and say what you want elsewhere. Fact. Or you can say what you want, just how you say it. Like, I mean, if you want, and that's the thing. I mean, I can't tell nobody what to want. I can't tell nobody, oh, you shouldn't want or you shouldn't feel like that. I can't tell nobody what to feel. But I feel if you want to make a joke about stuff like that, you're a terrible person. If you want to joke on somebody and the first thing you say is that, oh, if the such and such come back, he should be the first one. Like, bruh, that's just horrible. I don't feel anybody should want to make those type of jokes unless they're really terrible people. I wouldn't make a joke about that type of stuff. And maybe some people just don't have morals. Maybe some people just don't have standards within themselves to where they'll cut themselves off before they say something that may offend a whole culture of people. I mean, but I personally don't feel like those jokes is especially when it comes to like, man, like mass extinction, like people just being taken out left and right by the hordes. That ain't nothing to joke about. That ain't nothing to joke about, man. You could have said a million things about Ben Shapiro, bro. You could have said a million things about Ben Shapiro, bro. So yeah, man. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm about to go eat my dinner and call it a night. I've had wild fun today uploading content for y'all. I'm gonna do way more content, man. I'm gonna do way more stuff in the future, man. Tomorrow I'm uploading. We doing Tough or Flush. Please go follow the Tough or Flush live music review page on YouTube. I separated it from this page because, as y'all can see, they took my monetization away, man. And I'm saying they took my monetization away for a little while. So I had to remove the Tough or Flush videos, but I just put it on another channel. So if y'all do want to see the live music reviews, y'all go over to Tough or Flush live music review on YouTube and go ahead and hit that subscribe and that notification. If y'all do wish to send any donations to the platform to help build the platform, y'all can go ahead and send it over to that Cash App at $We Are Tough. Scrolling right there at the bottom. All right. If y'all want to go cop some merch, please do go ahead and cop some merch at wearetough.com. That is WEARETUFF.com. And if y'all do gaming and y'all F with the Twitch and all that, go over to twitch.tv/talking_tough_stino. Mark P just whooped me out in fight night earlier. I want a rematch, by the way, because I was beating you up the whole match, champ. I don't know how you did that to Tommy Hearns like that, dog. But yeah, man, make sure y'all go over there, man. I'm gonna leave y'all with some commercials. Please make sure y'all share this video. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure, champ, on my soul. Oh yeah, it's getting spooky out here, champs. Respectfully, them All My Soul shirts is popping. Y'all asked for it, y'all got it in all different type of colorways. It's all there on the website. Y'all make sure y'all go over to wearetough.com and go ahead and copy your All My Soul shirts, man. Let these niggas know you are very serious with what you talking about, man. All My Soul, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and cop your All My Soul shirts today. Fuck is you talking about?
Cause I got a lot, oh yeah. And anywhere you go, my whole crew gonna know, oh baby, hey baby, you can't hide from the light.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it real, trying to keep it real. Tell me what you want, I'ma tell you how I feel. I ain't trying to get no deal. I keep it real. Tell me what you want, I'ma tell you how I feel. I ain't trying to get no